Welcome to the first ever YoMo Bad Guy and COMMISHTRO show, recapping your mom's fantasy league week 1 results. And without further ado, here's COMMISHTRO.
Oh, hello. What's going on, Marcus?
I'm doing good, Commish. How are you, sir?
I'm doing
Actually, I'm doing
great.
great. I'm doing
Yeah,
great considering my week 1. So
one and
I'm
zero.
sorry. I don't want to start. I don't want to start the first show off with a lie. I'm fucking great.
Oh, we're 1-0, baby. It's a great way to start.
Oh, that's right. You're also 1-0. Well,
I
congratulations to you.
I am. I'm surprised you don't remember this stuff. Pay attention.
Yeah, I'm very self-centered when it comes to my team and the rest of the league. I don't really care. But okay, I get it. So welcome to the show to everybody out there looking. And of course, if you didn't know, this is Camistro. I affectionately refer to him as Castro. He's the communist in charge of running our league. So I'm going to leave you to do a little bit of introduction and tell the folks here a little bit about the league and the show, what they can expect, and then let's just get right into it.
Well, like you said, it's our first ever recap. Usually everyone's used to me doing a website recap or, I don't know, something else. But for the last couple of years, haven't done anything. So we decided to throw this together. I'm doing my best Pat McCaffrey week 1. Yeah, I know it's not how you say his name, but that's how I'm saying his name because I'm the commish and I'll do what I want. I make Marcus set
Okay,
up
hard
all
to
this
argue with
stuff
that.
for me.
Yeah,
But
I did.
nobody needs a big intro. We all hate each other in the most
Mm.
loving kind of way. So I think that
Except when it
we
comes
just
to
get
Aaron.
well. Everyone hates Aaron with no love, so that's
Yeah,
everyone
okay,
already.
good enough.
I mean, that was a given, right?
Yeah,
So
true.
I think that I think the most important thing we need to know here is to respect the commish, right? We need to know that we need to pretend this hat's green because I'm in charge. This is not a democracy. And
That's for sure.
let's just let's just get started on your mom like we do every year.
All right, let's do it. Go for it, Kamish.
All right. Hey, great week 1. Everyone had a blast at the draft. It was one of those famous draft parties that everyone looks forward to. We try to tell the
Absolutely.
outside community. We try to tell this outside community of people that we're friends with without not within the league how great this draft party is, and you just can't get people to show up. But we had a blast with the people that were here. We had amazing food, so much though that even Kenny and Marcus just showed up for the food and then left. Didn't want to hang out too much. So, what can you do? Smoke a little grass and eat my food. But first year brisket, I thought it was awesome. Great job. Foaling as always. I don't think there's another draft in the country that does foaling. And
Do
if
you
people don't
think
know
we
what
could
it
make
is,
foaling a thing? Do you think we could
my
make
vision
foaling a thing?
my vision is to have a foaling league if we can
Yeah, because
find
I think
the space is big enough.
I think foaling could be next. I mean, I think there's pickleball now, which is obviously hot with everyone. But I think if we play, if we put our heads together, I think we can make foaling the next
Hey,
pickleball.
side note, there is a pickleball place that opened up in Raleigh or is opening up in Raleigh, and it's got a bar and pickleball and some other stuff. And I just told somebody yesterday, this is my vision to have a big warehouse like this, but folding courts instead of pickleball courts, bar, all that kind of stuff. You
I
know
love
anybody
it.
out there? Nobody anybody out there in investment land? Hey, it's a great idea. I think it would kill here in this market. And but
Wow.
if people don't know what foaling is, everyone who watches this in our league knows what foaling is because we've been doing it for the past 5 or so years. It's basically a giant game of cornhole mixed with football, mixed with bowling, mixed with beer pong, and then we throw some crazy fumblerooski rules in there. Only here at Sedona Acres. But you basically try to throw the football 40 feet to the other side, knock all the pins down if you can, and it gets crazy after dark. Let's just say that. Let's just say that, right,
Yeah,
Marcus? It gets
that's
crazy
for sure.
after
Yeah,
dark.
yeah. That's putting it mildly. Yes, it definitely gets crazy
Hank,
after dark. Just a thought, a
Hank,
sidebar
Hank,
to throw that out there.
Hank runs out
He
to the car and gets
definitely
his
does.
spikes. Yeah. So, um,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
true.
obviously we had some good football on the giant, huge big screen. I'd like to thank Hank again for that idea years ago, uh, buying the projector and the giant 20-foot movie screen to watch football on at night. Um, Jeff
Is
enjoyed
that the
his
king?
time
Is
in
that
the
the king?
pool.
I thought it was a king
Was
size
that?
bed sheet. That's actually a screen. I thought it was a king size
No,
bed
we
sheet.
about 3 years ago. I actually I upgraded to a white tarp, cheaper than a movie screen, but
Oh, I got to start
it's more
trying to
than.
do that part of the event sober because maybe I take notice of those things. Okay, all right,
This is
fine.
more
I'm
than a
sorry.
hat
Go
rack,
ahead.
my friend. But hey, you knew it was a good night when tech support shirt came off during the draft recap. So those who didn't stay
Yeah.
and missed that, you missed a good time. Um, I wish I could show you the picture of Hank laying with the snuggling up to the Michigan blanket, but I don't have that. But anyways, it was another fun, eventful, amazing draft night. Um, I love doing it every year. My wife laughs at me that says you, you build up your entire year for one night, and I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, it's that
Yeah.
one night where guys get to hang out and
And be
just be there
guys.
and
Yeah.
have fun. So yeah, and we had a blast, man, and it was good. I think I think 2 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock, somewhere around in there was the last one to leave. So it made for a good night. Hank already passed out.
Okay.
Marcus
Uh,
and Jeff got into some deep discussion. I started the cleanup, and
yeah.
away we went
Can
with
I?
week one.
Can if I could just 1 second just point out for those of you that don't think anybody who weighs under 140 pounds can have a giant beer belly, we can vouch that is not true because I've never seen. I mean, you saw Narin's beer belly. How does a person who
Yeah.
weighs 130 pounds have a beer belly? I get
Well,
Hank, but I don't
yeah,
get how he has it. That's
it's
just an
just like.
abnormal build. Is that a deformity?
No, I think it's people from third world countries, right? They're malnourished, and
Oh, wow. Okay.
everything goes straight to the gut. So
It's the
I'm pretty
nourishment thing.
sure. Yeah,
But I thought
yeah.
I thought he was rich in his country. But okay, I mean, maybe not. And maybe it just doesn't skip. Maybe I don't know. Okay, just a thought. Just thought I'd share that with the people.
Maybe it's too many Slurpees.
Oh, that could be. Yeah, they probably get a discount. But anyhow, go
Yeah.
on. I'm sorry.
So we're gonna run through this. Marcus and I, obviously, I'm in control because this isn't a democracy; it's a
Of course.
dictatorship.
Yeah.
Respect the commish. Marcus will do as I say. So,
Of course.
just a real quick one. I did change my name to COMMISHTRO this year. I decided to embrace the entire Castro role that I've been called over the past few years. So, hey, I'm going to run with it. I'll have something special for you guys next week on the recap. You'll enjoy that. Um, we were going to do a quick rundown of all the team names and the reasons behind them. And honestly, I don't really know all the reasons behind them. Steve likes to draft with a computer. That's why he's real computer drafter. I'm always the champ. Aaron's going to say that, even though he's made 3 top 4s and he's won 3 of them. But Control Alt
Let's just
Delete,
downplay that.
self-explanatory. I do believe that the Jake in Charge one is pretty funny, considering he took over for Charles, who
Charles. Yeah. Yeah.
decided to be in
Okay.
charge. But the quote of the week was when
Instead, got George.
Steve this week texted and said he should have changed his name to Charles is Charged, which is fantastic. Salute to you,
Yeah, that was
Steve.
pretty good and accurate.
Yeah, of course you're the bad guy because you're a bad guy. I'm zoomed
Yes.
in here and don't worry about it. Barry and his Crimson Tide BS. Young Sheldon is obvious because he looks like young Sheldon and he's got the brain of him.
Dude, we got to get a picture of him one day if he ever has a good week or another bad week, because I just don't think people will believe it. But I
Yeah,
mean,
I
the
agree.
name is so perfect. I would have not given him that name, but as soon as somebody said it, I was like, oh my God, that really works. You know how it just kind of clicks? It's like, oh
Yeah,
gosh, that's genius. Why didn't I
it
think of
was
that?
my
But anyway,
it was my daughter, the first one who said it while we were watching the show, and she said, he looks like your friend from softball. And then now once I said it, everyone, yeah, I got it. So the
I
Hank is
definitely get it.
obvious. Justin changes his name about every year, and I never understand it. and now he's Quay Fupas. I thought he lived in Willow
I don't even know.
Springs. Yeah, or
Yeah,
Lily.
that's what
I
I
don't
don't know.
know. Anyways, and then Jeff is mad scientist, which I also don't get. I think he's sort of a scientist, right? Like he works with drugs more ways than
Yeah,
one.
yeah, and
So
anybody who meets him would be surprised that anybody would let him do that. I will tell you that
he's
it's funny because the first time I found out that Jeff was like a scientist, we were in a bar somewhere, and you know how you meet and you talk to people and you're around them a little bit, you can kind of figure what the realm of what their expertise is or what they work in, and then Jeff drops on me that he's a scientist. And I was like, dude, are you kidding me? I mean, if he would have told me he was a backup drummer for the Grateful Dead, that I would have believed. But a scientist, I wouldn't have got it.
or
But
the
kudos to
or
him.
the lead or the lead singer for Creed, because he does look exactly like Scott Stapp.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He could do one or the other. Yes, that is true.
But the
That
thing I
is
don't get is
true.
he's never mad, right? He's always so high
Because
that
he's
he's
always
always
high. Yeah.
happy. So he's never mad unless you don't get enough guys for a softball game. Then he gets pretty pissed off. But
Yeah, yeah.
for the
I get
most part,
that.
he's in a
I
good mood.
get
And then you got
yeah.
Apex Untouchables, which is Rob, and he's cool. We all know that. So,
Yeah, Rob's cool. Yeah, he just yeah, he's cool.
but
Yeah.
the draft recap, it was a good draft. Some guys made good picks. Some guys made terrible picks. Um, like always, Commistro's at the top of the list with his picks because I'm just a genius. I study. I know all my stuff, and I make good picks. I do like the youngins. I like to get the rookies. Try to find some sleepers out there. Uh, just in case anybody cares, that goes all the way back to the year Arian Foster was the big sleeper. If you remember that year about 20 years ago,
Yeah, when he first came out.
and ever
Yeah.
since then, I've been a sleeper draft. Hopefully, I find one in the rough this year. But Marcus, your team was pretty good. I was impressed with Control Alt Delete tech supports. I mean, I know he does a lot of research. He loves this
Research is
guy
his
on
life. Yeah.
Instagram. He loves this guy on Instagram, and he's gonna pull up everything he says. So I'm not gonna release it. Tech support. I don't want everybody stealing your thunder, but I know, and I know and we know. So and ESPN said that Jeff and Rob, that their teams weren't very good in the draft. They probably got a low grade right. But for me, looking, I thought it was a tremendous draft. I'm mad at myself because I took Drake London a round before he took Cooper Kupp. I thought I could get Cooper Kupp another round later or that next round. He
Yeah.
was smart. He
That
was.
was a big
I think
miss
he
by a
wasn't
lot of
as
people.
high.
Yeah.
I think he wasn't as high, so he made a good pick. But I thought both of their drafts were sneaky good. Rob screwed himself. Although Rob, you're cool. You screwed yourself
Yeah,
by not
definitely.
getting those
Rob's
two
cool.
QBs.
Jeff's cool.
The
Yeah.
QB kind of hurts you, but still, you're cool, dude. So,
Yeah. Definitely cool.
but Marcus, your draft was pretty decent. Had a pretty strong showing week one, and for some reason, Aaron is the luckiest SOB I've ever known because I thought his draft was terrible, and he came out and had a great week one, and I don't know how he does it with not paying attention to life. So,
Yeah. I don't know how he does
freaking
it
Aaron,
either. It's
man.
really annoying. Yeah, it's really annoying.
Yeah,
Definitely annoying.
but the draft, I think everyone had a fairly decent draft. There was only a couple that were terrible, but I don't think anybody was really that bad. And we'll see once the year comes out. I think we're going to have a pretty good year. Jake's team sucks, but you know, first pick. What
Yeah.
can you do when your
Well, and
first pick sits
if he
Pittsburgh?
loses McCaffrey again for an extended period of time,
Yeah,
he's going to have some serious issues because he really didn't do. I don't think he did the best job at backfilling. I mean, I try to cover my team for injuries, but there's only but so much you can do. But those are some big shoes to fill, and if he loses
yeah.
them, then it's the
Youngest
risk you
guy in the
take with that
league.
guy.
Youngest guy in the
Yeah,
league, right? He'll figure it out one
yeah.
day when he's 30. But anyways, enough of that. Let's get to the week awards for everyone's awards. This is what you all tune in for, is for the award show. So maybe at some point we'll have some nice little things that we can show and give away each week. But right now, week one, we're on a budget. We're just going with the typical awards that we go with. So the first award of the week is GM of the week, and surprise, surprise, it does go to Shirtless Kumar. Naren gets the
Shirtless
come
Kumar.
on, bud.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, right? Right out of the
Yeah.
gate, he
Yeah.
drops 156 on the rookie Young
Yes, he
Sheldon.
did. Yes, he
156.
did. Yeah.
That's a good opening week start, since seeing how a lot of these starters aren't into their season of scoring points and making plays. It's really their preseason, that first game for a lot of the starters. So for him to drop 156 is pretty amazing. But
Yeah. And
again, it was a good win for him. He played young Sheldon. He played a rookie. We haven't seen a rookie have like that least amount of offense in his team, dating all the way back to last year when Jake again was in the league for the first time, and he only scored 67 points, I think, in the first game last year. But if you take
oh man,
away young Sheldon, young Sheldon had 28 points with the Bears defense. That
that is
that was that
steep.
defense had more offense than all the rookie quarterbacks in the NFL this past week. All of them, you
Wow.
know?
Dropping
And
knowledge. Go preach.
exactly, right? So it's it's used to getting your rookies having a week one blowout. Naren kind of showed him. I think Naren took it on the chin a few times with losing, guys. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Taking it on the chin with losing.
Amongst other
When he
things, but
first
we're going to
when
focus
he
on the
first started.
losing for this time. For this play. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So Jake, I thought with you being my nephew and learning some things from me, you might figure out how to play this game, but obviously it looks like you sucked. You probably wish you would have traded me that pick, uh, that number one pick. So moving on to
Mm,
number two, we're talking about the weakest GM, and I'm talking about like weak, right?
mm.
Opposite of Popeye. Um, let's see. Who was the weakest one? Oh, it's Jake. That's right. Jake, you were the weakest, right? We just got done talking about you. Oh man. But you're having a sophomore slump already in week one. You only scored 80 points. Your number one draft pick of the entire draft goes out on a Monday night. That's gotta suck, man. But too bad, so sad. Let's just move on because we're tired of talking about you already. Um,
Yeah, and it's not going to get any easier for him going forward, considering his matchup this week either.
yeah. And let's go to the biggest blowout. It's actually Marcus.
Oh, really? But did I win
Marcus,
by that? I know. Oh,
you
yes,
did
against flip flops. Yes,
over
yes,
flip
that is
flops.
true.
Yes, you had a
Yes.
huge. I didn't do the math on it, but it was like 156 to 82, or 152 to 82, or something along those lines. It was a big blowout.
Can we just do like a quick little public service announcement to the folks viewing out here that maybe aren't in the league, and let's just try to establish some kind of rules and guidelines. You ever see that episode of The Sopranos where
I make the rules.
oh, sorry. Well, yes, of course you do. But there's an episode in The Sopranos where Tony's having a barbecue, a cookout, and he's wearing shorts. And one of the other Dons tells him afterwards at a party, said, "Listen, I had a good time, but I just want to let you know, a Don doesn't wear shorts." And so, if we could just give everybody a heads up, if you're going to be in your league and you're going to strive to be taken seriously, and I'll give Steve credit, he's won championships in these leagues. He's a nice guy, but Steve, an owner doesn't wear flip flops to a draft. In fact, I'm anti flip flop, period. I don't think men should wear them, but that's a personal thing. But at the draft, I don't want to see your toes, man. And if flip flops is disrespectful. So if we could just establish out there, if you're that guy in your league that wears flip flops to the draft, stop.
No flip flops to the
Don't do it.
draft. Yeah.
No flip flops to the draft. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
No
cut you
bear
off, but
feeding.
it's a
No.
sore spot for me. It's just annoying.
It's been a sore spot for you for years, but hey, you can tell by him wearing flip flops, he slipped.
And he does it on purpose now. I think he does it on purpose. But then this
Yeah,
year he didn't, which is why
but
he
he's
probably got his ass whipped this week.
those flip flops made him slip the first game, right? I mean,
Oh,
the
that's
Packers
right.
and
The
Eagles
drone.
in Brazil. He slipped on that win there and got his butt handed by you. And I don't know. He always drafts a good team. He's a 2-time champion, but boy, did he just not show up for
Yeah.
week one? Is he trying to do
Could have
that
just
like?
been a bad week.
Is he trying to do that like freeze thing at the Atlanta games where he lets everybody go ahead of him and then tries to catch him at the end?
Whoa.
Just a
Dangerous
thought.
tactic, but you never know. With him, you never know.
Well, hey, the next award is one of my personal favorites. Right? It's called the Not Aaron Award, which means it's the slimmest victory.
Oh, okay.
Justin, actually, the Quay Fupa, if
Oh,
I'm
that's
saying
right. Clay
correctly,
Fupas, whatever the hell
actually
they are.
beat
Yeah, yeah.
he actually beat Mad Scientist Scott Stapp from Creed by 5 points. That was the slimmest victory. So it's
That
definitely
is
not
a
Aaron
big
because it was
right.
very slim. But yeah, so he had the slimmest victory by 5 over Jeff, and that's about as exciting as their matchup was this week. That 5 point victory for Justin. It's about as exciting as it was. And so the next award is a new award. It used to be named after something else, but I decided to remake the award this week or this year for this week, and this is the Charlie Orndorff Award for the saddest
Hmm.
performance.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
There was a
Well,
lot to choose from. I thought I mean, obviously, Jake, your team sucked. It was pretty sad. Flip flops, your team, we just got done rear ending. But I got to give it to Jeff, not because he lost by 5, but because he had Cooper Cup on the bench with 32 points.
woo, woo.
He
Yeah.
lost by
Yeah.
5 points, and he had him on the bench. And obviously, you always start Cooper Cup, and
Yeah. Who
he
did he
ends up
start
winning the game.
instead of Cooper Cup? I mean,
You know
who
what I
who
did?
would
I
you
didn't care enough to look, so I'm not 100% sure.
it was probably Michael Pittman, I'm thinking, but of course he's got Cooper Cup
He,
back in there. Nothing like chasing
yeah,
last week's points, but okay.
I do believe it was Michael Pittman, but
Yeah.
yeah, we'll
Okay.
see if he can do that same thing. But congratulations, Jeff, for getting the Charlie Orndorff Award for the saddest performance of the week.
Well deserved.
Um, yeah, the next award used to be named after somebody not in the league anymore, and it's an unfortunate thing that he's not in the league anymore. But it used to be known as the Kelly's Second Wedding Award for the biggest disappointment. And if you guys want to text or reach out at some point and let me know what you think we should rename this award to for the biggest disappointment,
Not that you
all of
care, but
you,
go on.
but they're all prone to disappointment in their life, so maybe they can find something for us. But biggest disappointment of the week goes to Steve again. 2-time
Wow.
champion, flip flop wearer, hanger outer at the draft longer than most guys have in past years, and it was just a disappointing to see with such a good draft lineup that he couldn't produce this week. So, Steve, you are my
Yeah.
biggest disappointment. I'm not mad.
Yeah.
I'm just disappointed.
Yeah. Okay. I understandably so. Well deserved.
So the final award of this week, we're going to go to the bench of the week. The bench of the
Ooh,
week goes to Young Sheldon, slightly over not Slim Aaron. Um, they both had
that's for sure.
79. They both had 79 points on the bench. Okay, so they left a lot of. They
Man, I
left a
had like
lot.
nothing on the bench.
Yeah, they left a lot on the bone there. But Young Sheldon lost and Aaron won, so I have to give the award to Young Sheldon. I mean, he had Jamison Williams on the bench who scored 25 points. Now, some would say, he may not play Jamison Williams because he had two really good wide receivers. Yeah, but those two wide receivers, Amon Ra and the other dude that catches passes, they had a combined 5 points.
Yeah.
And
Ouch.
if he would have studied the matchups like Hank talks about, he would have understood to play Jamison Williams instead of the other guy that catches passes. And there was a chance that he was never going to win, Marcus. You still would have beat him. He had 28 points with a defense. Who does that? I wanted to get rid of
Yeah.
defenses and kickers, and nobody wanted to do it.
So did I. So did I. I think that I have no
I had
love for him. We all know that.
Jake. You should have voted. I had Jake Moody. He had like 20-some points kicking. I think Jake
That's
had a
right. I
20,
saw that.
20-point kicker as well, maybe. But there's a lot
Yeah, I
of
think my guy
a
had
lot of field
a
goals
lot
this
of high.
week
Mike,
too.
I think Mike can. Yeah, but that's what you get the first couple of weeks. So because none of these guys play in the preseason, and unfortunately, you have to sort through who's going to perform during sloppy football, which is what you get the first few weeks.
It's
You get a
100%.
lot of
You are
sloppy
going to
football,
get it. So
unless you're the Chiefs, but they actually play some during the preseason. What a genius move that it
yeah,
shows.
yeah.
You know,
Well, that that's it for our awards this week. They were sponsored by nobody. We haven't had a sponsor yet for this one, so maybe we'll get a sponsor for these awards soon. And
and potential sponsors out there, we're open to negotiations. It's not going to take much yet.
yeah, it's only week one. I mean,
Yeah.
we got a lot of weeks of this, a lot of sadness, a lot of excitement, a lot of annoying Aaron. But you know what? It's football season. It's fantasy season. We're all excited. Your mom may be the best fantasy league in the country. We don't go to Vegas. We don't go to
Definitely.
strip clubs, but it's not easy. It's not. It's a thinker league, and I've never won it. And I think this is the 13th year, 14th year. I've never won it. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I've been held down by the man, and in this case, I probably am the man. So I do still throw a banging draft party and I put an awesome league
Absolutely.
together. I will say
That's right.
that.
That's
I
true.
don't care if I'm touting myself at all, but I do. It's a great
That is
time.
for sure.
When you can get Hank
That is for
away
sure.
from all of his kids to come to a party and spend the night, you know it's a good party. You know it,
Yes,
right?
it must be a good part. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. You know it. Well, before we head out of here this week, and hopefully we'll have some more exciting and fun and good stuff for you guys each and every week, because we're not going to try to bore you. That's the biggest thing I hate about these podcasts is they're boring. A lot of them are boring. Young Sheldon, we thank you so much for giving us your power ranking thingamajig the night after the game. I mean, you could have went to sleep and thought on it for a minute, but I guess that's not how your brain works. But I think I got the text message at like 3 a.m. or something like that he already put his power rankings out. And I don't care. I'm not doing my power rankings till after week 4 because just like the NCAA, there should be no rankings until after week 4. Then we can find out uh, who the good teams are, who the bad teams are, and we can weigh the Febreze with the stink, if you know what I'm saying. But this week we got some fun matchups. Uh, bad guy's dying on his end, but this week I get to play flip flops. And it looks like it's going to be an interesting matchup. I hate projections. Aaron loves the projections. Well, Aaron, you're projected to lose to tech support, so we'll see what happens. Jake, bad guy, you've got Jake this week, and as he's dying on his end, if somebody knows the Heimlich, we might want to get them over there.
Sorry, I'm just
But
coming over a cold, but Jake's in a lot of trouble this week,
yeah,
but it's
yeah.
okay.
I mean,
Your season's not over being 0-2, but it's great for me to go 2-0. So I'm not worried about him this week at all for sure.
that Lamar Tua combination of quarterbacks might be tough because Tua has weapon after weapon after weapon, and
Yeah, well, it burned me. It burned me a couple of years ago when I had it when they both got hurt
it
toward
has.
the end of the season. So
You're
there's no
you're the only guy I
guarantee.
know that you're the only fantasy player I know that drafts the same guys year in and year out. I mean, you've had Lamar Jackson for a handful. You've had Tua for a handful. Wait, but
And I couldn't get my
what's
hands on
Tua's?
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, but what's
What's to
that?
his what?
What's Tua's name again?
Tuaga Viola? I don't know. Is it? Isn't that it? Tuaga Viola? I don't know. He's got one of them weird. What is
He's
it?
got-
Hawaiian, Samoan, whatever the hell it is. I don't know. But the guy's good and he's got talent around him. But you're right. I do have a tendency to have my guys that I like, and I live and die with them. And but
yeah,
it's a
yeah. I
risky
mean,
combination with him and Lamar. But I will tell you, it's the same thing with Norin. I mean, he's got Josh Allen and Anthony Richardson, and that's a pretty
that's
good
tough.
combo.
I
Week in and week
I was
out until
almost
somebody gets hurt.
for sure that Anthony Richardson would get hurt again. I just a great talent, great player, but I don't know. It would be nice to have him, but if he gets hurt, what's Tech doing?
Yeah.
He's already tried to trade me one of the worst trades in the history of fantasy draft to start because I asked him for Sam Darnold and he tried to rape me and he didn't get
Oh,
in this
really?
hole. He didn't get in this hole. I'm too smart for him.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what's going to be. You know what I think the most interesting matchup is of the week, and I don't even think it's necessarily because of their players going against each other. It's just these two guys going against each other. We got to see which one's higher, but it's Barry versus Jeff.
call it the smoke bowl.
I
Ooh,
mean,
boy,
every
the clouds atop those two households are just going to be incredible.
oh gosh, and the amount of food and beer that's going to be devoured
Oh my
in that day, and they'll
gosh,
probably be together. More than likely, they'll probably be together.
that
Um,
would be awesome.
you know,
Sounds like a weather advisory.
every year I've always done the J and B highest points of the week, which we go back to shirtless Kumar on that one because he had the
Yeah, yeah.
GM of the week highest points of the week for 156. So we did forget to do that, but hey, the J and B highest points of the week goes to tech support. But that's Jeff and Barry for those of you who don't know. And then one of the most boring matchups of the week is Justin and Young Sheldon. Although Justin's roast at the beginning of the draft was pretty good. This
Hold on. So
matchup
let me.
is going to be pretty sad, I think.
So who did you say it was? Young Sheldon and whom?
And Justin,
And
the Quay
and
Fupa
Justin.
or Quay Fupa or
Oh yeah. You,
Qua Fapa. I don't know.
that reminds me of like that's like two fat chicks getting dressed up trying to score on a Friday night. Yeah,
I don't
and
know.
then they just end up together at till 2 in the morning.
To me, it
So
sounds like
that's
two
what that
fat
looks like.
chicks on a toilet is what it sounds like.
I thought this was a family show.
We're all family here. We all hate each other.
Yes, that
But
I
but
can't argue with that.
but Justin, this one's for you. That was my 404 error. And then we round out with two of the absolute like dynamite nicest dudes in the entire league with Hank playing Rob. It's almost sad that one of them has to lose, right? I
And
mean,
Rob
because
is really cool.
Rob is cool. Rob's cool,
Yeah, Rob's definitely
and
cool. Yeah,
I mean, it's hard to get much better than the Hank, right? I mean,
gotta love the Hank. Yeah.
it's the Hank. So
Mm.
they have an interesting matchup. I think Hank might have an edge there a little bit, but their projections are very close. It's only a 3-point difference. So we will see. You know how Hank loves his matchups and loves his Mahomie. So
Yeah, yeah.
we'll have to see how Mahomie performs because Travis is garbage right now. He's past his prime.
Maybe Taylor Swift sucked all the life out that guy. Maybe he's
Travis
got a new
Swift.
hair. Have you seen his new hairdo? He's got a new hairdo though. But
It's a
I'm
weird, creepy
thinking,
mustache.
yeah. But I'm thinking it looks like something like maybe he went to like a hair club for men type deal. Because what I think he was starting to thin before he got involved with Taylor Swift, and now all of a sudden his hair is growing.
Yeah,
How did that happen?
I didn't pay
You couldn't grow it
much
before.
attention to him. I don't pay
Yeah.
much attention to him. I mean,
Well,
I used
when
to
you get
watch him
old
and
like
Kelsey's
me.
show, but
Oh, really? I've never seen the show. I don't care for reality TV. Got enough
no, it's not.
nonsense in my
It's
own
their
reality.
podcast. It's the New Heights
Oh, that's right. The two
podcast.
brothers. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
The
don't do
coolest
podcasts.
the coolest thing they do is new news.
Okay. All right then.
But
Yeah.
that's all I got for this week of YoMo. Um, Looking at next week, we'll have some new things going on for you, hopefully, and yeah, we hope that this is good enough for you guys. We're taking time out of our day, uh, busy days, to do this for y'all. So you better appreciate it. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, you know that they won't. Nothing's ever good enough for those clowns, but so is life under the Castro regime.
Hey, it's better than it was the previous 3.5 years. Am I right?
Sure. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Hey, well, we'll see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed the
We'll
first episode of the Yomo Castro bad guy, all the good stuff. I screwed all that up, but hey, it's week one, so we're bound to screw stuff up.
All right, good deal. And then I'll end it with a Van Halen reference. I don't feel tardy. Till next week, everybody.